Alright, yeah, back at it. So, another older game from the early 2010s from a now defunct publisher, RIP Tasty Minstrel, but this is Rialto from Stefan Feld. Don't know who illustrated it, but I'm sure I put it up. This actually was recently sort of reprinted or reskinned by Queens, but my own personal opinion, after seeing what they did with the Bruges, I guess, reimplementation, I wasn't too enthralled, so I just kind of tracked this down again. I haven't played this in a bit, and it's an interesting game because it does have some different elements to it. There's some card play, but it's mostly like area majority, and you're kind of scoring the different areas at different points, but you can sort of manipulate how it's going to be scored by these little gondolas here, and this punches out pretty good. And then you have the buildings here, which come in 3 different colors, and they have different abilities, but you're essentially using the gold to they're arcade machines. You're paying to play there. But yeah, here's the gondola or the bridge tokens, and depending on which side of the point value is there, that's where it's going to score. So if you want to get the higher points, you're moving that around. But it's a pretty interesting looking board. You're scoring the bluish sections and then the other sections, and then those little squares on the side are pretty much who has the majority on that. But this game has one of the worst score tracks, if you noticed. It goes from 50 to it's 10 increments, but there's no numbers in the middle. And then we have the back of this board here. Yeah, so I'm kind of flying through this, but it's pretty typical. And then what else we have here? So we have the individual play boards. It's just like cardstock. It's nothing super fancy. But this is essentially where you're storing your buildings, your money, and your little counselors here, which are represented by these little pylons, I guess. And then you start with some of them in your board, but then there's also actions that you're taking with these cards that will give you more from the general supply. And how the card play kind of works is you're setting piles down, and each player is choosing a pile depending on what they like, and then whoever has the majority in that, you also have a wild there, does that action, and it's pretty much on the rails in that case. It's pretty prescribed, you're going A, B, C, whatever. But yeah, interesting game. Anyways, thanks for watching, and be safe.